Hi there, folks. Welcome to day 3 of your Mosaic Experiment 2021.
And welcome to Mosaic Experiment Television, or MeTV News. It is day 3 of the Mosaic Experiment, the virtual Mosaic Experiment. There's been a lot of activity in the past couple of days, and we've been meeting a lot of new people. We've been seeing some old faces. And I got to be honest, it really does feel like a burn. And, we said that last year on Saturday. Saturday especially felt like it. There was a lot of community getting together at the very last minute to do a lot of things. And it was a shocking thing that people weren't going to burns for 2020 during the pandemic. 2020 was a very big year for a lot of reasons. People are just looking for a reason to celebrate. And I feel that we gave it to them the best that we possibly could in the virtual world. This year, we've put a lot more work into it, and there has been a lot more activity. We were worried. We were really worried there up until the last minute because it didn't seem like there was a lot of buy-in. It was just mostly shock and disappointment that we had to cancel the event again this year. Be that as it may, the community always, when you put your faith in them, they never disappoint you. They all started coming up with things at the last minute. Thursday filled up with activities really fast. Friday filled up with activities. I really do honestly feel like I've been through 2.5 days worth of a burn, and now it's burn day. It's Saturday. And it's burn night tonight. We actually have a conclave tonight. We have some effigies tonight on a Zoom like this. If you attended last year, if you looked at it last year on burn night, we broadcast that to Facebook in our Facebook community group through Zoom. And there's a nice conclave presentation there and a nice effigy presentation. So in other words, lots of you took part in conclave. So we just spotlighted one to another, to another, to another, making it feel like you were watching a regional burn event take place. And then lots of folks had their own little effigy burns that they were having in their backyard or at their friend's house. Some people were out in parks doing it where they were able to get away with it. And all of this was being streamed Saturday night, burn night. This year, we're giving people a lot more notice, and we've been trying to plug this all week long. If you go to www.mosaicexperiment.com/www, there's a link right at the top where you can register to be a part of conclave or the effigy. If you've got something that you want to burn and you want it focused and you want it streamed out here, we're streaming it out to Facebook, the Mosaic Experiment Facebook page. We're streaming to our Twitch channel. We are streaming to our new, never before existed YouTube channel, and it's being archived on YouTube. It's being archived on Facebook. So just go ahead and fill out that jot form. You can register theme camps there. You can register art. You can register events, all these things that you want to have in the what, when, where. But you could also become a part of conclave tonight. You could become a part of the effigies tonight, which is taking place burn 30, 8:30. Oh, your voice just disappeared. We're changing the name of our broadcast to technical difficulties. It's been
Can you hear me now?
Now you sound fine. There it is.
Sorry about that. I had to turn the mic off and on again. Like Everyman was saying, if you go to that jot form link, check that out from our www listed here below. Go ahead and check that out. If you haven't already done so, fill out to join our conclave and effigy burn. And always remember, if you are doing fire with your conclave, that's not a prerequisite to be a part of it. But if you are, make sure you have a fire safety with you.
Forgot about that requirement. Thank you for mentioning that. That's also, that's not just a location of the jot form link. That's also the location of the Discord link. That's where our burn is taking place. While we are restreaming to Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, our community is on Discord. Discord is free to download and install, free to use, and it's ad-free. You can pay to expand to other features, but you're not going to have an advertisement every 5 posts, every 5 comments. The direct messaging feature doesn't have bots scanning all of your text and putting advertisements in front of you when you start going into the main theme camps and whatnot. That's one of the reasons why we switched to Discord, because It's more independent of all of the big social media platforms. We are trying to move people away from that, and people tend to direct message us through Discord versus Facebook lately. So we strongly encourage you check it out. That's where the events channel is. That's where all the spontaneous events are getting posted. The public events, the events that people don't mind going in the what, when, where on our website, mosaicexperiment.com/www. If you fill out that jot form and put stuff there, it'll go on the website, and you don't have to put a Zoom link there. You can put a Zoom link in the events channel on the Discord, so only the community sees it. But if you don't care, you can put your Zoom link and include that. You just, when you fill out that form, you just tell them it goes to the promo team. Corvus is half of it. Rambles is the other half. And within 5 minutes to an hour, they tend to get it right up on the what, when, where. It gets on the website almost immediately. And also, again, that's where you go to register if you're interested in being in the conclave tonight, or if you've got an effigy that you want to burn. I know we've spoken with a lot of you last night about it. We're encouraging you to come up with something, and let's really make this feel like a good community experience tonight. You know, we didn't have a lot of applicants early on, and we're hoping that we can change that.
Now, if you did apply to be part of Conclave and Effigy, make sure you go ahead and check your email to look for an email from Tentacles. So you're able to get in on our kind of like, let's get this tested. Let's make sure everybody knows where to be and when, so we can get the flow of the stream working great for everybody that's going to be viewing tonight. So that'll be in your email. Should have gone out sometime this morning. Just make sure you check that. If you don't see it, look in your spam folder just in case.
Yeah, it's not like you can register to be a part of Conclave and show up exactly when it starts and be a part of it. Like, there's going to be a vetting process. There's going to be some practice runs. We want to make sure your lighting is okay. We want to make sure that you can spin and have something to perform with. So, we want to, I know professionalism is a weird concept when it comes to regional Burning Man events, because we do believe in immediacy. But when it comes to fire, we take things a lot more seriously. I know safety third is something that you hear burners say, but this is the reason why you have to have a spotter. This is one of the reasons why we want to make sure that you're vetted, you know what you're doing. You're not going to set yourself on fire while we have this public stream going on tonight. We care about the community. That's one of the reasons why we canceled the in-person event this year. We care about you. We don't want you to kill each other with a virus, and things were getting really bad. This community loves each other. And when we get to see each other again, we're going to hug the hell out of each other safely, and ideally not on fire. Now,
That's right.
When where link, Corvus, there was a list of events that took place Thursday, Friday, this morning, and what's happening this afternoon and this evening, and some events on Sunday's schedule. We just came back from one hell of a session that was modded by Slafter. You talk about Burns being a transformative experience. You talk about conversations that are deep cuts.
Yeah, that was entitled Permission, Shadow and Gratitude, a Burning Man story. That happened at 1 p.m. So if you missed it, don't worry. We will be rebroadcasting the video that was shared. This comes from a workshop that Slafter did earlier on this year in June. Had a lot of guest speakers, very profoundly moving. They talked.
Yeah, that clip was with Halcyon. You might have heard of him.
Yeah, John Halcyon, founder of Hug Nation. It was beautiful. It was extraordinarily emotional. I'm still reeling.
Yeah, that's going to leave a lasting impact on me for weeks, I think. There were some statements made there by both of them that I took true to heart. And I'm in a special place in my life right now where I just needed to hear those words. I haven't fully processed them, but I hope that you all get a chance to experience it. And I suggested, why don't we just take that video, because, it was an actual Zoom session with Slafter and some members of our community. I'm not talking about just that part of it, but the video that is already out there on the internet on Vimeo. We were suggesting to take that interview with John Halcyon and restream that the way that we're coming to you right now on our Twitch stream, on our YouTube stream, on Facebook. When me and Corvus aren't talking, we're just looking for some content to put out there that our community has assembled. And this is a pretty important one to watch. So we might do that tonight. We may do certainly tomorrow on Temple Burn Day. We just discussed it, and we feel that's an appropriate time. Once the burn is kind of over, and you've just gone through 4 days of this together with this community, a video like that kind of ties it all together. Burning Man culture. For some of you, this is the first time you've been to a burn, which amazes me. It actually emotionally moves me that for some of you, your very first burn is this. And you've accepted us and you've joined us and you've never been, you've heard about Burning Man, but you've never been a part of this community before. And I keep hearing from so many of you that we have been very welcoming to you, that you feel comfortable with this community. You feel like you can be yourself. And that gets brought up in that interview with John Halcyon. He talks about radical self-expression, which is one of my favorite principles. And he says it's not about being weird or being flamboyant. Radical self-expression is about being radically yourself. It's the true you, uninhibited. The things that you feel afraid to express to other people, the things that you feel afraid to say because you're going to be judged. Of course, it was a hell of a, I mean,
I got the same way once he touched on that. I know they talked about, participation. They talked about gifting, the gifting culture and how it ties in and how you can really increase the amount of joy that you have in your life just by providing joy for others around you in your default life. And they tied that all back in to that radical self-expression. And yeah, I had to take a few moments to really digest that.
It just changes. Everyone has their perceptions of what that means. When we first did a burn out in the middle of nowhere and we tried to talk to the community about it, their eyes bulge out of their heads in rural America when you use the word radical. And I used to be against it for that reason. And now I'm starting to wholly embrace it. I'm now starting to get what that means. Being radically yourself. There's something to be said about it. When you're in a community that doesn't judge, they don't just allow, they encourage you to dig deep inside of yourself and express what you really feel and who you really are as a person. There's something so liberating about being able to be you and finding a community that accepts it. And even if they don't like it, they don't reject you. As he described, you just kind of go along at Burning Man and you look at all these great things because you've never been there before. That looks great. That looks great. Ooh, I think I'm going to be a part of this thing. And that's okay. Someone else turned left and said, I want to be a part of this thing. These two different theme camps that have completely different types of ideologies are still radically expressing themselves. They found their communities amongst themselves. And that's when we talk about the 10 principles, that's one of my favorite ones, radical self-expression. And the one that people get most confused about is radical inclusion, which to me, I talked with Cookie about it from Lakes of Fire. These are debates happen all the time. Radical inclusion means got to include everybody, no matter how hateful you are as a person. And Cookie always said, no, that's not what it means. It's a real simple principle. It means that your difference, your height, your stature, your age, your religious affiliation, your gender, however you identify as a person, will not be a roadblock to buying a ticket. We're not going to filter you out because you're different. We're not going to filter you out because of your skin color. We're not going to favor somebody because of their skin color. And that really hits home to 2020 and what happened last year. And that was a big awakening for a lot of us. We made mistakes. We had a big miss last year, and we did not jump on Black Lives Matter as quickly as I felt we should have, because we felt afraid of saying something. For me as a cis white male, I made the mistake of feeling it wasn't my place, that this is something that the Black members of the community should do. And a Black member of the community made it very, very clear to me. They have a burden going back centuries, and this is not their responsibility. Change won't happen with just them pushing this. We have to be their allies, and we're not their allies by being silent. We're their allies by making very strong statements that we believe, enforcing policies that we believe in to make sure that this racism isn't tolerated, that racists aren't tolerated. Radical inclusion doesn't mean you get to show up to the event if you're telling everybody that you're a white supremacist Nazi. We will not let you in. We will take a fucking stand against you. I will not permit you. I'm one half of the LLC. Racists are not permitted at Mosaic Experiment. If we find out that you are, that means you're oppressive. And that means that you are oppressing others, and that's not radically inclusive. Your attitude and your ideology should be open to differences. And you can't say, I'm a Nazi, I'm a white supremacist, but I am open to being at an event with Blacks and Hispanics and Asians. No, you're not. You are ideologically against them. You want to oppress them. We don't want you here. And if that scares you away and that makes you not want to come to regional burns anymore, stay the fuck away from Burning Man. We don't want you. Burning Man agrees with this. They don't want you. You are the reason anything declines. You are the reason society is declining. You are the reason the social contract is breaking apart. We are the reason it's coming back together. We will fix this. We will stand next to all of our brothers and sisters, all of them, and we will fight for them. And we will take a stand against you. We don't accept you. We don't want you. We never wanted you. Oh, some of these regional events used to tolerate you and they used to look the other way and they used to try to be all embracing and all loving. You are not all embracing. You are not all loving. We have no room for hate. There's enough hate. We're fed up with hate. We're no longer going to accept hateful people, hateful actions, people that are inspiring violence in others. There's enough violence in this world. We need more hugs. And I firmly believe in what John Halcyon said. More people in this world, most of them, would rather hug you than hurt you. And the mainstream media commodifies hate, commodifies negativity. That's what sells. That's what advertisers love. That's what gets clicks. But in reality, you come to this event, you're going to find what you want out of humanity. We will do all that we can to ensure that. This community will do all it can to ensure this. To keep the fucking Nazis out, to keep the hateful white supremacists out, to keep the racists out. This is the only way that we can change. Burning Man is one of the most white events I've ever been to, and that needs to change. And one of the reasons it hasn't is because there hasn't been a strong stance being taken against these white supremacists. You are not welcome. Radical inclusion doesn't mean we're letting you in. We will never let you in. You will be on our ban list. We barely ever do that. And we barely ever have white supremacists in our community. When we find out who you are, you will be escorted out. We will call the police and have you escorted out, and you can have a record if you'd like. That's how strongly we feel about it.
Extremely well put.
I'm sorry that...
Don't be. This is what Burning Man is about. We are about being the change that we want to see in the world. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Be the change. All of these white cis people, fucking make a statement. When you see something wrong, you see something racist, get in their faces, get in the way, make them afraid, make them scared. They're the loudest voices in the room. No more. No, we're the loudest voices in the room. We're fed up. We're going to get in the way. We're going to interrupt you. We're going to get in your face. We're going to rat on you. You're going to hate it. You're not going to go in society anymore. You're not going to participate in society anymore because we're fed up with it. That's what us white cis people need to do. And thank you, Lady Bacchus, for helping us understand that. It took me a while, and I made a mistake not realizing it. We're not going to make that mistake again. We just felt that we should stay quiet. It's not our place. Now, I know that we've got another event coming up here, and this is going a little bit over long. So why don't we? It feels awkward to do this, folks, but we do have to sign off here pretty shortly. And I wasn't expecting this to happen, but we just saw a pretty emotionally moving video. When you see it, you'll understand why this why this happened, but I don't regret a word that I just said. I want you to understand that that was heartfelt, that's sincere, and I'll say it again. We'll keep saying it. But in the meantime, we are at a burn. This is Saturday, and it's burn day. Happy burn day, everybody, by the way.
Happy burn day. Yeah, so go ahead and go to that www. We've got
what's coming up next?
Alcohol AMA with Tonic at 3 p.m. So that's 4 minutes from now. We got Fudo RS at 5 p.m. with Squeezy, and Off Suspension right after that at 6. And then, well, I forgot to mention, this has not yet been added, I don't think. We've got a reading of selections of Edgar Allan Poe that's going to occur at 4 p.m. Okay. And I'm going to be presenting that one to you. And don't forget to join us at 7:45 p.m. to 8:25 for the Effigy pregame show, where we get you hyped about Conclave and Effigy tonight. And right after that, following up 5 minutes later, is the Burn Night live stream extravaganza. So thank you very much for tuning in today, folks. Can't wait to see you for Burn Night.